Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of this video from the Johanna Basford weekly planner. We are using Castle Art soft touch pencils and the picture is from Enchanted Forest and there is a free download of the page, so if you want to follow along and don't have the book you can do so. I've put the link in the video description. Right, let's get on with our next part of this page. Now, if you haven't done any of the videos yet, you can make a start now with me, or you can go back and watch them first. The order is not important unless you prefer to do it in the same order as me. We're actually going to start with the acorns. So I want a dark colour for the little cup part. So I'm going to grab my walnut brown, whoops, I think. So here he is, walnut brown, and let's come in a lot closer. That is probably about right, there we go. Just give it a sharpen. There we go. Now I'm going to do the little stem bit first here. It's the tiniest bit on that side. And this one here, because when my pencil's nice and sharp it's easier. Now we've got the edge of a bit of a cup here. Now because this is a cup, it's rounded, I'm going to make it slightly lighter in the centre. I'm not going to make it shiny, it wouldn't be shiny, they aren't shiny, but it is rounded, so hopefully that helps it to look a bit more rounded. We'll do the same over here, so making it darker on those edges, a little bit less in the centre. I can't believe this is the last week of August. Next week's plan will be September. Wow. Now our actual acorn is more of a reddish brown. I think I'm going to use the brown ochre just because I think the burnt sienna would be better, more realistic, but we've used that for our owl, so if we use the brown ochre it looks a little bit different. And again I want it darker on the edges than the centre, which will hopefully make it look a little bit shiny. I'm just going to sharpen up this pencil a bit. There we go. I was just thinking in my head of some things that I'm going to do when we have our week of family time. I've already asked the boys if they'll play some games with me and they said they will, which is really kind of them. My husband doesn't play games. He doesn't like losing, so he just hates it. So but they'll play with me. He'll happily do art and watch, so that's fine. It still could be a family activity. Now we're just going to move us up a tad because we're going to do these big bunches of leaves. Again, I think I want a sort of stalky bit in. Oh, I've missed a bit there. Let's grab our hooker's green. Just fill that in. I'm thinking I do the stalky bit in quite a dark colour. So I won't go for, I'm thinking the oxide of chrome, but we only used that for there, didn't we? So it's a bit too close. So maybe, what have we got? Got a Prussian green, maybe might work. It's a little bit light. I know, let's go for the terracotta light and do a sort of brownish. We did that here, so it might look a bit samey, but then they are near each other. So maybe it's okay. Maybe if I do this and then go over it with a green, that might work. So I'm just going over this. Yeah, I think if I go over it in a green, after, it'll turn it brown. Let's hope. She has faith, not in her idea, not. Yeah, I've also just fancied some time sitting outside with a cup of coffee, just watching the world go by. Now I'm going to grab that Prussian green. You know, just doing nothing. I get bored quite quickly doing that, but you know, oh, it's broken. I just got to resharpen. But I think it will be nice. Or let's, you know, go and sit in the countryside. You know, we're really close to countryside. So, or just, I don't know. It's going to blend into the background a bit more now. But I think it doesn't look quite so bright and brash. And then for these, I'm just going to fade it towards the tip. I don't think I'm going to need another colour. I could do if I wanted. I'm not sure I do. I'll have a look when it's done and then decide. But if I've used the word done, my brain will go, well, it's done. I think it's fine. And it doesn't look the same colour. Probably because it isn't. Oh, I've been doing all these videos for this page I've done in a row, and although I've taken small coffee breaks and things, I'm feeling like my voice is running out. I'm running out of things to say, but I wanted to get the page done just for that sense of fulfillment and completeness, rather than leaving it until tomorrow when I've got something else planned to record for tomorrow. But I'm trying to think what I might have other things going on. Just look at the calendar. No, I haven't got anything planned. Hooray! I haven't actually got anything planned until next week, so that's nice. My son wants to go to shopping tomorrow, but that's not a big problem. Make this a little bit darker because it's tucked behind, so I think it will be a bit more shadowy. There we go. And now I have just discovered here that this bit, that's my hooker's green, which is the background colour, just to fill that in. They're quite faded back into the background, but I don't mind that. I think it looks quite nice, atmospheric, slightly dark and almost not spooky but eerie maybe. I quite like that idea. Eerie background. And eerie is the name of a eagle's nest. There you go. You come here for some learning. Did you know? Maybe you did. The squirrel's nest is called a dray. Sorry, I just used my hooker's green there to fill in that bit of background I missed. So there you go. And a fox lives in a den. I think everyone knows that. But anyway. Yes. What else? What should we talk about today? I don't want to talk about animals. But I don't know, what's the name for an owl's nest then? I'm trying to think, because maybe it's just a nest. Probably just a nest. Because I used to have a book called The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark. What's the name? Jill, is it Tomlinson I want to say? I think I'm wrong. Jill somebody, maybe. It was such a cute little book. And I remember my primary school teacher reading it to us as a class. And I liked it so much that I wanted to buy it. Sometimes we'd get a little leaflet through, sent home, which was for a book club sort of thing. I think it might have been through the PTA. And the school, if you bought a book, the school would be able to buy a book or something like that, you know. So I remember asking if I could have that book. So my mum let me have it. And my sister had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think, from there. We also used to get stories for something-year-olds, so it was like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, and it was a sort of short stories. And I remember there being some nice, the one for younger children had some nice Shirley Hughes stories in, I think. Right, now, here we have one there and two there, just little leaves. I am going to, what should we use? Let's use this. This is the leaf green. Seems quite appropriate for a leaf. Oh, it's the really bright one. It's that one. You can't see. It's that one. I think that was a bit too bright, really. I don't think I'm going to use that. Let's use the cadmium green pale. I like that one. I'm just making sure you can see. There we go. So I'm going to go over it like that. Oh, is it the same as that? Maybe. I'm going to do it really lightly. I think I'm just going to use something else on it because it's so close to that other colour. So I'm going to put that down and I'm going to grab the sap green. And actually I might do the same as I did for these right in the top corner, the very first leaves we did, where I faded from the centre outwards. Let's do that. Sorry, my voice is disappearing. It's weird when it does that. It doesn't hurt. It's not a sore throat or anything. It's just a lack of voice. I've just been talking for too long. Surely that's not a thing. Now, we're going to work on these. Now, these are part of this branch the owl is sitting on, but that's fine. Doesn't make any difference. I am quite fancy doing a bit of a brown start to these. I was going to grab the raw umber, but I mustn't because we've used that on the owl. And we've used the cinnamon on the owl. I'm looking at this colour here and it won't turn around and show me its name. Oh, that's a Chinese orange. No, we'll not use that. Cinnamon, brown, or umber. Let's use the sepia. Now this isn't the sort of sepia that you get with the polychromos, for example. It's quite a reddish colour, but it's quite dark. It should go quite nicely, I think, with the branch. You see? And then just fade, because I'm going to put some green. I think I'll fade it all the way to the end, and then we'll cover it over with some green and make it look a bit more greeny in our next step. But this will just sort of blend it into the twig, I hope. Now this video obviously is long. Quite often when I do a page which is symmetrical, I only colour half of it and let you do the catch up with the rest. But this time I decided to do it differently and just colour all of it. And I don't know if you've liked that or not, so let me know if you prefer me just doing a little bit and then you carrying on your own, or if you'd like me chattering on for hours and literally and colouring it with you. I think it might depend on, I think it will vary between people, it will depend whether you like listening to me chatter on and whether you prefer to have a little bit of extra help and encouragement as you colour as well. So I was going to premiere my afternoon video at 3 o'clock and it's 3:15, so I can't do that. It's about time I did a bit of a premiere for you. That's something else that I might get a bit more time for if I'm only no, I won't if I'm only doing one video. If I do it in the morning, well, I might, because the morning ones go out at breakfast time, but I could always have a late breakfast. But we'll see. I'm just going to mix things up a bit and see what happens. Someone's trimming their hedge, I can hear. I hope it's not too loud. It doesn't sound too loud to me. I haven't got my window open, so that's better. Okay, there are those, and now we need a colour to go over. I'm thinking, yeah, the cadmium green. I think I'll show you on this side. I'm going to do it darker at the tip like that and then fade it down towards the other end. So we're sort of doing the reverse than we did with the brown, but take it all the way down. Okay. be a strimmer. Sometimes we have the council come and cut the grass in our lay-by. It could be that. It could be my neighbour doing his trees in his garden. Or there's a tree over the back that is rather overgrown. In fact, we've got a big tree. We had a big tree in the neighbour over the back's garden that was taller than our 3-storey house. I guess maybe you'd say 4 stories. So we had the ground floor, then the next, and the attic. It's a tall house, and the tree was taller than the house, and its roots deep into our gardens. And she had it taken down last week, which was so good. And it's so light now, which is rather nice. And so that's good. I just put my garden back together actually, because we moved some of the pots out of the way of the falling branches, because a lot of them came into our garden because because of the position of the tree. Right, I'm trying to think as I colour these what to do with these on the edge. I'm going to push our page up a bit, I think, so we can see all of the bottom. So we have these here. I'm just going to grab the juniper green, I think, for those. Here it is. Now again, we've got quite a pattern on here. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to put a light layer all over, and then I'm going to leave that turned over a bit lighter and put a second layer all over the rest of that, like that. Quite simple for this one, but because there isn't much of it, I think that's a good idea. Like that. Same again here, so one layer across all of it. You can just use the side of your pencil, just get it down, and then more here. It's getting noisier outside. There we go. Now here, I've got something slightly overlapping there, can you see? I've got no idea what that is, so I'm going to ignore it, and I'm just going to colour it as part of that, just because I don't know. Now I like colouring these, they're fun. I'm going to use the oxide of chrome. I'm going to sharpen it. And I'm going to try and make them look slightly rounded. So these, I'm going to go darker on the edge and less layers towards the centre. So layer it up here, and less towards there. Now this is tricky with its tip there. And then we've got a lot of background to do here. Look at all this where I've missed. So grab that hooker screen, which I've put down in the wrong pile. There it is. Just going to do that bit there as well. All around these, just a little bit where I've missed, haven't gone right up to the edge, and then this bit where it really obviously missed. There we go, one a bit there. And then, put that in a different place. Then we're going to use the oxide of chrome over here. Again, put more layers on the edge and less in towards the middle. And, oops. Oh, I've missed one on the other side, haven't I? Did you shout? Did you tell me? Thank you if you did, but I didn't hear you. Louder next time. That one's a bit messy because it's right on the edge, but we've got there. and then this one. There we go. Okay, now we've got these here. It's just this set of 3. I've got a permanent green here. I'm just going to grab my hooker's green and just tidy up that. I'm just wondering what to do, so I'm procrastinating. I know, would do one with a sort of shine in the middle again, like we did with some a bit higher up. So we'll do the stem, and we'll do that bit and fade a bit, and then this bit fade towards the middle. And hopefully it'll work. This one's quite bright actually. I think it'll be okay. And we've got sort of 2 groups to do. I've used all my greens that I want to use twice. Once yesterday and once today. Oh, this is part of this as well here. Look. So I'll have to use them again, which is fine. I'm trying to think, do I want some other colours, you know, some browns and yellows, or just the greens? Not sure. The noise outside has stopped anyway. So that's something. I don't know if you can hear it anyway. You can't anyway now because it's not happening. Husband had a very early start this morning. He didn't wake me up that early, but the night before I didn't sleep very well, so I'm really tired again now. But that's okay. I can cope with being a bit tired. Okay, that's those. Now, I think I'm going to grab the green gold. Whoops, my pencil's rolling towards me. And use it for, let's use it for the tips of these, just for something a bit different. So I'm just going to sort of fade it, put it in and then fade it. A bit different, isn't it? So basically I'm layering up here and then I just do less layers until it sort of tapers off to nearly nothing. It takes a bit of practice. Actually quite a lot of practice, to be fair. But it's worth having a go. If you don't try, you'll never master at anything. It can be a bit daring. If you're using a download, then it doesn't matter really, does it? It's not in a book. But even if you're using a book, go for it. I tend to... Backgrounds are the scariest thing to just go for. But I always tell myself that I've got a black Posca pen. If things go terribly wrong, I can just erase it all. I want the cadmium green. I'm just trying to find it. There we go. I think, did we use it there though? Yeah, maybe we did. I'm going to use cadmium green pale then because it's a slightly different shade. And I'm going to, with this one, once I've sharpened it, I'm going to start at the bottom and work upwards and hopefully just sort of fade it in. But I've just noticed I haven't done any background behind this leaf here. So back in with my hooker's green to the side there. Okay, let's get going. So we need to do these really fine stalks. stalks first, or stems. So I'm going to do those on both sides while my pencil's sharp, and then just get going. It's quite pale this, but I hope it's going to just work. Hopefully it will. I can hear a rumbling noise now, as if someone's got a leaf shredder. What's it called? A chipper, something like that. But I don't know. I won't know until I finish and go and nosy outside. But I wouldn't do such a thing. My children are always telling me off for being too nosy. But you know, why not? I admit it. Although they did ask me, so, oh, someone said they were unwell, that's right, or something. And they said, did you ask them what was wrong with them? I was like, well, no, because that's really nosy. I said, I am nosy, but not to that rudeness, extent of rudeness. If people want to share, they would tell you. Illness is very personal. Oh, that's right, it was because I was talking to someone about the fact that my son had to put a medical form in for his driver's licence because he's had a couple of seizures in the past. So they've got to decide whether they think he's safe to drive. And the person on the phone who I was talking to about it said she'd had to do a similar thing. So they said, what was it? I said, I didn't ask her. Right, we've got our bottom ones to do, and I am going to use the Prussian green, but I'm going to use it in combination with another green, and I can't decide which one. Let's make a start. Let's sharpen the pencil. Now these are split in half, so I'm tempted to do half. I'm going to do this half in this colour and the other half in a different colour. It might look really odd. I can hear leaves and things being shredded. Must be the council, I would imagine. I've got some bits of tree in my garden. Maybe I should ask them if they can shred them. I don't think so. I will go and see what's going on. Might be that they're pruning the trees down the road. There's some willows along the river. I think I'll do the stem in this colour too. It will just disappear a bit because it's really similar to the background, but I don't mind. Yeah, they trim the willows because otherwise they fall down. And that's not good. They fall into the road. So it's a bit of a hazard. This little bit here needs colouring in with the hooker's green. And that a little bit there. And what should we use with this? That's a Prussian, I think we could use the juniper. It's really close though, but I think it would match better than anything else. So I'm going to use the juniper green. And I'm just blocking this one in. I haven't done anything special. And I'm also going to use this for this bit. Sounds like someone's sweeping. And we're nearly there. Nearly done. Which is exciting. Now if you want to show more separation between these leaves, you could put a bit of black shadowing between them. I'm not sure that I want to bother with that. I don't think I do. I'm pretty happy happy with how it is without that. And there's sort of, because I want the focus to be on the owl, if we do too much detailing, whoops, over the line, on the leaves, then attention will be drawn to them. Now, I think I'm done. I'm going to come out so you can see the whole page. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm done. Well, thank you if you stuck with me and watched the whole series. I hope if you coloured along you had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I was procrastinating doing this one because I knew it would be a big one, but I have really enjoyed it, so that's good. Yeah, have a really super day. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those lovely things. Thank you so much and happy colouring.